Welcome to the Elite Designer Podcast by the Whitespace Elite Circle, a community where creatives learn, earn, and network to stand out. This podcast delivers top-tier insights for designers and creatives looking to grow both in career and business. Join our host, Oluwafemi and a lineup of brilliant creative minds as they share real-world experiences, proven strategies, and powerful tips to thrive in this ever-evolving industry.
Okay, creators, welcome back to the Elite Designer Podcast. And this is the second episode of the 3-part design refraction series. I already made the first one titled The Prism Within. Listen to that, you get the full idea. Beautiful episode. This second one, we are talking about brief. And the major title is Beyond the Brief. This is what you're going to learn in this episode. We're going to dive deep into the intentional layers that separate a good design from unforgettable design. Because see, let's face it, design isn't just about making things look good, right? It's about making things mean something. And that only happens when you move past the surface, when you go deeper. It can be 1 step deeper, it can be 5 steps deeper. Just make sure you move past the surface. Let me just tell you the 3 segments that I'll be looking into. The first is we'll learn how to uncover what really powers good and stunning design. The second point is we'll learn to move from execution to strategic storytelling. How do you tell stories with your graphics design, with your motion graphics, with whatever it is you're doing, with your creative and visual communication project. And of course, on the third point, we will be diving deep on how to navigate the personal and emotional layers of creative work. So, to segment 1, what actually powers stunning design? Let's start with the unspoken truth, right? Stunning design doesn't start in Photoshop, Illustrator, Figma, After Effects, whatever software you're using. It starts with intention. It is not about the tool you use, but it's about you, the designer. These software are great, but they are just tools in the hand of the artist. A deep why beneath every color, every shape, every font choice is where the intention lies. What really powers a great design? See, it's context, clarity, and most importantly, conviction. Why are you doing the design? What are you trying to communicate to your audience? When a designer understands the story, the business need, the human emotion behind the project, the final output transcends beauty and aesthetics. It speaks, it connects, and it resonates. If you are just creating to check the box or to, make something very pretty, you would eventually hit the ceiling. But if you are designing with purpose, you unlock something very, very rare. So when you design, check back, look into the intention, look into your own intention, look into your client's intentions on why they want to create the design, on why they want to make this campaign, and then pour out yourself into it. We don't design just for beauty's sake, just for color's sake. We design to pass on messages, to pass on emotions. So from all these things I've said, what really powers a great design is context, clarity, and most importantly, conviction. The second segment of this beautiful topic is from execution to strategic storytelling. So, one of the biggest shifts in a designer's journey is the move from execution to strategy. You are no longer just someone that does, or you are no longer a doer, as it were. You are now a translator. You turn briefs into narratives and ideas into movements. Right? And this is where intentional design truly shines. You need to ask yourself these 3 questions. What problem am I actually really solving? Who is the hero in this story? Is it me? Is it the client? Is it the user? Is it the brand? Definitely it cannot be you, right? And of course, how will this design live, evolve, and communicate over time? Remember, you're not designing for yourself. You're designing for either the client, the user, or the brand. And whatever it is you're seeing, the technical details, is only reflecting to you. Probably, maybe the client may know, right? But it's only showing to you. So storytelling is understanding the problem you're solving, understanding who the story is for, who the hero of the story is, and how will the design live, evolve, and communicate over time. That is storytelling, that is strategy, and that is where you stop chasing trends and start setting directions. In fact, you start setting trends for others to follow. That is the second segment of Beyond the Brief. Remember, Beyond the Brief tells us what the client may or may not see, the thought process or processes behind your execution, your strategy, and of course, your intentionality, right? And the third segment, which is navigating the emotional and personal layer of creative work. So let's talk about the most overlooked dimension of creative work, the emotional layer. Behind every design process, there is a designer. Yourself, myself, and any other designer out there. And sometimes the work demands more than skill. It demands self-awareness. It demands your mind. It demands your feelings. Knowing when your ego is driving the project, when your fear is limiting the output, or when your burnout is whispering, this is good enough, is very important. Sometimes your ego is telling you, I understand the trend. These clients cannot tell me what to do. This is the right shape and right color to use. I understand all those nuances and all those technicalities. But can you just let your ego down, right? Just leave your ego alone and follow the story, right? And try to work around the story. When your fear is limiting you, is telling you, you can achieve this, imposter syndrome, and all those things, let go of the fear. Or probably when you are burnt out, when you're tired. The truth is, learn to rest. I made an entire episode on burnout. Learn to rest. That's the quickest thing to do when you're burnt out. And, come to the project with a new pair of eyes. It is good enough, like I said, to know when these things are driving your project. And intentional designs ask for emotional honesty. If you're not emotionally honest, you will do a piece of crap in the design or in the storytelling. So be honest emotionally to yourself, to your client, and even to the design itself. And emotional honesty makes you a better creator, not just for your clients, but for yourself, right? So understand why you're doing something. If it's a design that needs to pass an emotion out, don't bring your personal nuance into it, as it were. Make sure you're communicating what the project is about, right from understanding what the problem is, who the hero of the story is, and how the design will outlive you and evolve and communicate over time. So let me just wrap up with the key takeaway. Stunning design isn't an accident. It's the result of depth, direction, and design decision made with meaning. You are not just a creative. You are a communicator. I always call myself a visual communicator, not a graphic designer, not just a creative. I communicate using elements, using colors, text, whatever it is I need to communicate, videos, animations, to pass on emotions, to tell stories. That is why I am a visual communicator. You are a translator of emotion, purpose, and experience. You are a storyteller. So next time a brief lands on your desk, don't just open Figma, Illustrator, Photoshop, CorelDRAW, whatever tool you're using. Open your perspective. Look beyond the brief. Look beyond what is written out in white and black. Understand the story. Tell a story. And also, it is very important to take your clients by the hand and walk through the story building and the storytelling. So at the end of the project, it is easy for your clients to even communicate it to their own customers. It is important to let clients also know the processes involved behind every brief. Some people just think it's just, pick up the pen, or, some clients just think, just go to your software, click on the buttons, click on the mouse buttons, and draw out a design for me. Let them understand how it works. It doesn't work that way. That is why this 3-part series is called Design Refraction. It's not always how you think it is. So, If this episode sparked something inside you, share it with a fellow creative. Let's keep, this conversation alive on Instagram, on X, or inside your own creator circle. And of course, you've been listening to Oluwafemi Akingbola on the Elite Designer Podcast. Until next time, stay inspired, stay intentional, stay refreshed, and keep creating from within. This is a Creatorverse. See you in the next episode. Bye for now.
We appreciate you joining us for this episode. Be sure to rate, review, leave a like, and follow the channel. Also, feel free to visit whitespacecreatorverse.com to join the community and access resources that will help you reach your career and business goals faster. That's www.whitespacecreatorverse.com. Until next time, stay creative.